So we are back after the summer break. Welcome to our 10th of the Patent Insights. Welcome. So immediately I am inviting my dear co-host Arne Kruger. Hi Arne.
Hi Mustafa. Hi dear audience in LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you are. Welcome back. So happy.
After a short summer break, so now we are in the middle of September.
You had vacation. I was working.
Don't be jealous. I had only five days in Turkey as a vacation. Just that 5 days. So yeah, it's really nice to see you again, Arne, in our 10th of Patent Insights. Right? It's a good frequency. We are organizing it well, and it's all recorded and can be rewatchable in our YouTube channel. So we can also share the link if they don't have. Maybe you can share with your colleagues. So today, Arne, we are talking about another perspective of IP ecosystem. So we are talking about the IP event formats. So we will compare conference type or the single one-day event or camp format, workshop format. There are lots of type of event formats in the IP field. But if you don't mind, before starting our new episodes, I would like to announce about our promise that we already talked about the directory of IP networks.
I remember, yes.
Yeah, we created the list of IP networks. Maybe you remember that we have already discussed IP networks, and also we listed, and also we ask you to suggest your favorite IP network globally, and we collected 51 global IP networks in our list. That's a good job.
Not bad. So, congrats. I didn't had any time to prepare today, so I didn't even read your preparation note that you gladly did. So I'm happy. Of course, 51 is great. I will just check one from this morning, maybe. No, I don't know. I had another one. Maybe it's on the list. Let me check shortly. I wrote it somewhere. EAN, Enterprise. Is an EAN there? Let me check again.
The EEN. EEN is not there. IP address is only included.
European Enterprise Network. I just heard this morning from Bayern Innovativ, from Bruno Götz. He's an extremely loud voice in the IP community, especially in Bavaria. And he told me that he participates in this network and he recommends it to all Padlibs to check out the EEN network and their Improve program, because it's about optimization of the innovation process in startups and small, medium companies. So we have to add it. So 52 we collected. Super.
Yes, including the EEN, Enterprise Europe Network. It means that it is 52. So the link is ready to download. So for our audience, you can simply, if you are not subscribed to our newsletters, you can directly subscribe from the link in the chat, and then immediately you will receive the welcome message, including the download link. Yes. But if you are already subscribed, tomorrow is our newsletter day, and then we will share the link with our existing subscribers. Of course, free of charge. You can easily download free, no cost. So you can implement the filters. I hope you will enjoy.
Did you create a Notion document? I think a Notion table, right?
Yes, this is a Notion
document. Of course. Yes. Mustafa likes Notion a lot.
Notion ecosystem is getting bigger.
I know.
There are lots of Notion templates in different fields, and then they are selling Notion templates.
Last week, I just received an offer from a competition to one of my clients, and he creates this offer as a Notion document. He's not even sending PDFs. He's just sending out the concept and the offer, price table, everything in Notion. So I know, Mustafa, I know.
Excellent.
I know you are a
I
big
like,
fan of Notion. Yeah, of
I
course.
like Notion. But
Yeah.
because of you, I am also a big fan of Confluence in Jira.
It's
So
just
it's another
different.
topic. Anyway, different purposes, different, Yeah, today we are talking about the IP format.
Yes. Can I just?
Yeah.
I just come from an IP event this morning,
Yes.
and yesterday we just were at the so-called PITS conference of the German Patent and Trademark Office. Took place in the Ministry of Justice. Like we had a very prominent Gustav Heinemann event location, extremely beautiful. If you follow German Patent Office on LinkedIn, you can get some pictures from the event location. And it was an IP camp. Even if we call it conference, Mustafa, it was a camp. It was 30 people, closed invitation list. So it was not really public. So we knew everybody there. And we had a close, like guided exchange of ideas and experiences in the IP community together with the Ministry of Justice, who is in Germany the like somehow owner of the patent office. It's not the Ministry of Economy, like in almost other countries. It's Ministry of Justice. And I'm just coming from a picture with with our Justice Minister. At lunch, we took the event picture. So I'm really hyped about this a little bit. So maybe you realize that I have a little bit adrenaline because I had this morning a speech and had to give out news from our IP network to the patent office. Because they invite us once a year. And the format was called conference, but in fact, it was an IP camp. So what is in camp for you, Mustafa? Maybe I didn't interpret it
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What
Yeah,
is your definition of camp?
yeah, we can discuss. We should talk about this. What is meaning of IP conference? What is the meaning of IP camp? Or is there any different type of event
Yeah, yeah.
format for the IP professionals? For me,
I just tried to give it to you already, yeah? Like smaller, closed participant lists, or the participants know each other and you have a closed environment, closed setup, and it's all about exchange of experiences and giving speeches to each other and discuss it in a much more intimate level than you do in a conference where you attend, sit in the audience like in the cinema, and you get entertained or get informed. This is for me the difference between a camp and a conference. Like a camp is much more intimate and much more about exchange and discuss topics. I think big conferences, they try to include these workshop or breakout sessions, but I don't like the mix, I have to say.
yeah, they are trying to, yeah, big conferences trying to include the workshops or breakout
Yeah,
sessions with a smaller group of whole IP conference participants,
yeah.
but it is not like a real IP camp or IP camp format.
No, no, no.
So
You stay on conferences, you usually stay anonymous a little bit, yeah? Or you can hide away. Nobody sees you in a
exactly,
conference. Yeah.
exactly.
And
I
in a
think
camp
that
you
that's
can't.
you can't,
No,
yeah.
no.
You
You
can
have to
hide your
participate.
in the conferences you can hide yourself as you
Yeah,
said, right? Yeah, you
yeah,
can just sit and listen what they're talking and then take your note, and you don't need to talk anybody, and there
yeah,
is no force, right?
yeah.
And the number of participants in the conference type is too many, right? It's a huge, sometimes, around 100 or more. But
Yeah, Mustafa,
in
I'm
terms
in
of,
these events since 2006. I'm like active participating in IP events, and there were some smaller conferences in Germany going on. Yeah, um, but it was also the format of I I use the analogy of cinema. You know, you get entertained because you have a podium, speakers, you get a presentation, and in the end, you have 5 minutes for questions. Yeah. So it was the conference format. Even with 30 people, you can do a conference. You know, if you are not interested in exchange of ideas and experiences, then you call it a conference and you make a conference where you are the program master and you are not interested in information flowing back to you, to the organizer. You just want to send, but there's no receiving part, I think.
Yeah, mostly it is a one-way knowledge transfer in the conference formats, and the participants can hide themselves and just they can stay like in a cinema, and they can just watch. And after the conference or seminar finished, and then they can disappear. So this
I
is,
like both, I have to admit, Mustafa. How about you? Like, I know you are, because you are the founder of the IP camp in Cheshire. I think the 10th time you do it or so. So I know that this is your preferred format. But how about, are there any good conferences or no? It's just camps for you. What do you think?
No, it depends on my goal. It depends on the aim of participants. So I should ask myself why I am attending this conference or IP camp, or what is the main purpose for me to attending this kind of IP events. Is it just following the recent developments in the IP field, or just engaging with the very good experienced IP professionals? So according to the answer of these questions, I can say that yes, I prefer camp formats this time. I prefer conference type this time. So I can
I've
say that.
observed you, Mustafa. I think we met in 2012 in a big conference of the European Patent Office, the PATLib conference. I remember.
Yeah,
300 participants, and just wind blows from the stage. There was, and you had a lot of interactions in the breaks. So you and in the summer evening program and conference dinner. So there was room for exchange, but it was unorganized, right? In 2012, there was no organization of side events or so. It was just speech, podium discussion, speech, and in between breaks. So, and then it was somehow also an incident who you met, because you couldn't find people. So we lost each other, I remember, and then I saw you in a group somewhere else talking, and then, yeah. But
Exactly.
I recently in summer, Mustafa, we both went to Patinfo in Ilmenau. We had even a Patent Insight about it, and you were just like, you were blowing it. It was great to see you, to collect business cards and get as much contacts as possible. And I think you ended up with 50, 70 business cards in the end. So I think you talked to half of the audience you talked. And if you would just have 15 or 30 participants,
Exactly.
it's totally different, right?
It depends on your character. So if you're a networking guy like me, it doesn't matter if it is a conference format or camp format. So you can always engage with the people.
Yes.
But if you are in a conference, big conference, I always expect the coffee breaks much longer. If the coffee breaks is 10 minutes, it is quite impossible to engage with the people. You are just sitting in the conference venue, and then just you are listening. If the coffee break is 10 minutes, how can I engage with the people? How can I talk? That's
this
why
is
it
also
must
my
be.
problem, Mustafa. Like, I like to follow the speeches or presentations, because there are, in a bigger conference, there are some really good speeches. But if I follow a speech intensely, and especially if I ask questions, I'm getting excited. Yeah. If I ask questions in a bigger conference. And then in the breaks, I don't have a break because I have to talk to so many people. So in the next speech, I'm then sitting there and thinking, like, when do I have a break? Because it's again interesting. So usually conferences are much more exhausting, because I have like 14 hours and no break. There's no break. And I'm getting older, Mustafa, and it's getting harder. I skip speeches just because I can't do it anymore, because I need a break.
So
But
you
if
are
you
using
skip,
your break in the conference time, and then you are using working time in the real breaks by
yeah,
networking.
yes. But the problem is, if the speeches are too good, I don't have any breaks, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I hope then that every third speech is boring, so I sneak out and have a break. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a kind of dilemma. Yes, I have this kind of problem. If the conference is so exciting, and if I need this, the knowledge from the speakers, I always, listening very carefully, taking my notes. It's triggering my creativity and the planning
Yeah.
ritual. And then after that, I need to engage with the people, and it is really the same like you, and no breaks, no resting time, and you are spending 12 hours in a day during the conference, including the networking dinner or evening dinner or something.
In Pat Info, I was so exhausted, I had to skip the conference dinner because I was a little bit late, Mustafa. So I didn't had a good place with like people I know and I can be silent for a while. So I met a table of people where I had to engage. And then I was just after eating a little bit, I just went to the smokers. And then it was just like no work anymore, you know. And I just talked the whole evening with the smoker guys. Yeah, not smoking, but still. But I was
Yeah, yeah.
really finished. Yeah, interesting.
I can
Yeah.
imagine. I can imagine.
Is there any
Yeah,
good bigger conference, Mustafa, that solved this dilemma for you? Like I remember European Patent Office, the EPOPICs in autumn. They
yeah.
are not they don't do it anymore since Corona, but these conferences were somehow more relaxed for me. I don't know why. I don't know what was the secret ingredients, the source of the organization team that I didn't feel so exhausted after EPOPIC. I always felt inspired after EPOPICs, also the European Patent Information Conference
Yeah,
from the
European
EPO in
information.
beginning of November. Yeah.
Yeah, since the COVID, I guess they will organize this year in person or hybrid. I don't know. But before the corona, we were in the Patent Information Conference organized by the EPO. I don't know the secret or the sauce, but I feel very comfortable in the EPO events. I don't
Me
know
too.
why.
Me
Maybe I
too.
know so many people
But
from the
but
EPO,
then
and
Shallow is retired, and since then
yes,
and Corona happened, so I really miss these EPO events where I really felt, uh, uh, um, um, yeah, it was really inspiring, good networking events, yeah, always because I think they were not so fully packed, or I don't know why. I really don't know.
because they make the coffee break is a little bit longer, not 10
Yeah,
minutes of
maybe that was the reason. Yeah.
yeah, so we can have time to do networking, to talk with the people, share ideas. And the secrets of I want to talk about how you can increase the engagement rate in the conference, just as a participant. You said that I
By
am
having a
asking a
speech.
question. You are asking,
Yeah, of
no,
course.
if you are not a speaker.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said that
So don't talk about things you don't know, Mustafa. You are always a speaker in these conferences. You don't go to conferences where you don't have a slot. Come on.
sometimes, sometimes I go, sometimes I
Come on,
go.
you are famous in the scene in Europe, Mustafa.
Thank you so much. But I
You
would like
are.
to give
This
a
is not a
point.
compliment. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. You don't
It's a
say thank you
written
for the
fact.
fact. Ah,
Mustafa is not participating in the conference if he is not invited as a speaker. That's the fact.
when was the last time, Mustafa? I'm really curious.
I don't remember.
I know, I knew it.
I don't
I
remember.
totally knew it.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So the point is, you said that.
So
Please
let
come.
me talk about, as a participant, how you do engagement. These questions, you create engagements. This is first,
Yes.
yeah. But questions is they have one problem, that in the end of these conferences, a lot of these questions are stupid. like hell. Sorry. So it's just like, I think they just ask questions to increase engagement. And I think this is the wrong approach. Like,
For what? For
what
who?
I understood, how you can increase your engagement at conferences is if you talk about topics or speeches that really inspired you. And with this, you can ask a question, or you walk around and say, like, what was that for a great speech? What is your opinion about it? Oh, this topic really, like, I was really into this topic. What is this about? So with good content of speakers, you can create a lot of engagement because you just talk about these speeches and share your opinions and experience about it. And you can boost it a little bit with a question, but please don't ask stupid questions or just repeat some stuff. Yeah, or like, good
Exactly.
questions is hard to ask, in my opinion. It's not really easy. Yeah, also not
Sometimes
for
as
me.
a participant, you have to ask very, very good quality questions to the
Yeah.
speaker, and then speaker must feel himself or herself to come to you to talk about the details about your question.
This is the next trick, Mustafa, we have. This is a good trick. My next advice or trick is, like, stand next to the important people. This creates a lot of attention and a lot of interaction. So if you might know somebody who is a VIP there, yeah, I don't know if you realize, but after a speech, a lot of people just go to you and want to congratulate you or get a little bit from the adrenaline. So I usually don't like to go like a groupie to the speaker. Yeah. But if I know somebody who is really a coryphée, an expert in the industry, usually they know a lot of interesting people as well. So engaging just with key people and let yourself guide with these experts or older people through the conference was a trick I did in the beginning of my career a lot. So I remember the EPO were so great because I was always with my friend Heike, and Heike knew everybody. So I just knew if I stick to Heike, I meet the greatest people of the conference because Heike was the key for me. Yeah, so she helped me a lot and included me in her network. And you have to find these key persons, who are in the center of the network.
To attach
And
yourself.
if you are lucky and they are your friends, then conferences are much more valuable to you than if you go there as a stranger. Yeah, you have no reputation, nobody knows you, and you just be a little bit a creep or a stalker. Yeah, I wanted to say I like your speech very much, and it's a topic that I'm very much interested in. That's boring. Yeah,
Doesn't mean
that's really not doing it for me. Yeah. So this would be
I
my
agree.
second tip. Yeah.
I agree. So you can find your famous friend, or you can just stay very
In
close
Turkey,
to
it's
the.
Mustafa, by the way. If in Turkey Mustafa attends a conference, everybody knows him. And also in Europe, in the EP conferences, Patent Info, everybody knows him. So I can recommend to connect with Mustafa and remember his face, because if you see him on the conferences, he knows everybody there and everybody knows Mustafa. So he's one of
So
the key persons.
you can attach yourself to me, and then we
Is
can
this an
walk
offer?
together.
Yeah, I did it in the past. I know how you do it, Mustafa. It's just for
I
our
did it.
audience, and that I could really recommend that. Yeah, if you follow Mustafa on LinkedIn and you see he's attending a conference, it's getting more valuable to you because he sends you to the people. He takes you everywhere. This guy here next to me, Mustafa, I'm talking about, by the way. Yeah.
You know that before the Corona, I participated in an LAS, Licensing Executive Society annual conference, which is
Yeah.
organized in Yokohama in Japan. So that was my first conference, and I
In
didn't
Japan, you mean?
in Japan, yes, in Yokohama. and 900 people as a participant in the conference. It's very huge and very big conference.
International
and also
or national? Yeah.
International. So there are people coming from United States, Australia, Europe, and Japan. They are organizing this annual conference every year, in different places. So I met the president of LAS Brazil, and she, took me and introduced more than 10 people in the line. And I suddenly found myself in the middle of Panasonic, Microsoft, the Nikon, Toshiba, and all of them are head of their IP departments.
And
so
half a year
I
later, you
just
were LAS President Turkey. Half a year later, you were LAS President Turkey.
After that conference, I became a president of LAS Turkey. So it means that it works. Find a person who can, engage you and intro you to other people. It's thanks to her, and it totally worked.
Yeah, super. Another tip,
Yeah.
Mustafa?
I don't have another tip. So I don't want to say all of my tips in one video cast. Slowly.
I do it. Come on. Taking pictures is nice. Taking pictures is my last tip. This is a very personal tip. I love to take pictures, and people like to get photographed. Some people. Like not with the iPhone, then it's talking. But if you have like an SLR, like a mirror camera, a bigger one, and if the organizer allows it, that you can take pictures, then it's also a good way to connect with people. I remember one conference that was really nice. There was, I think, I don't know, Castell or LexisNexis, I don't remember. And they had a photo booth there. Instead of the usual presentation of their product, they just had a professional photographer. And they just said, give me your V card, and you get a professional LinkedIn profile picture from, and this was really great. This was where I think like, wow, this is one of the best things to do in a conference, to like, this is really added value, and it connects me on a different level with the brand. If they just talk about themselves and the feature of their products, okay, I can research that.
That's
the internet is even, I don't need to attend a conference to get a list of features. But pictures are there. They are longer in the memory. People share it. They have albums maybe, or they share it at home, nice pictures. So I create a lot of added value by taking a lot of pictures from conferences. On conference I attend. For myself, for my friends, for my company, for my community, for my IP community, I take these pictures. And at home, I then create a short conference report, a picture report, like a graphic novel somehow, with pictures that I comment. And pictures speak more than 1,000 words. There is this speech, this proverb, that one picture says more than 1,000 words. And I think this is true. So this is my third and last tip for today. Take pictures on conferences. It increases the value. Again?
And also it makes it more natural and more friendly. Instead of staying professional or, formal.
Yeah, you have to smile a lot because some people feel they don't like to be taken photographed somehow. So there's always some people who don't like that. So you have to be a little bit sensitive as well. So it's but still that's why it's good if these conferences are in somehow interesting places where the surroundings are nice. Usually I take a lot of architecture pictures. So the architecture of the conference room, for instance. I like.
But the idea that Questel or which company did, I don't know, taking the photo, they are taking the business card of the participant, taking a good professional photo, and then they are sending to them, right?
After a week, you get the professional picture.
and all the connection has been created.
Yes.
By taking
And
just
the
one
picture, like the intro picture you choose here for the Patent Insight is this picture from 6 years ago. I'm still using it. So I still have a memory of this photograph and this nice idea from this one conference. I never saw it again. That somebody like donated his booth for this in this type. Yeah. Usually they give you chocolates or this. LexisNexis gave out little ducks in the Pat info. Not this duck, but ducks in their corporate color. But yeah, I found it. This was quite nice, quite interesting idea. I liked a lot.
I really like it.
But let's talk about your IP camp, Mustafa. We have to talk about more camps because time is up for conferences.
Yeah. So the other type is smaller formats or intense formats. We can say that camp or workshop formats, more than one day and with limited people. Just 30 people, 40 people, the less than maybe. And you have to gather people in the same place, and then maybe if they can stay in the same hotel together, it also increases the integrity. And I can say one of the example as a effective format, effective camp format, we call it as a IP camp, organized by LAS Turkey every year. This year will be this 8th
Mustafa
version.
is LAS Turkey. Mustafa is organizing the camp.
We are organizing as a LAS Turkey. Yes, mainly I am coordinating. So last year you were there in the seaside. Maybe you can say something about your feeling. This is the second time. The first time that
2 times I attended. 3 times in Izmir because you let me speak in your university very early 2013 sometimes. But then IP came 2 times. Yeah. Also the special about Mustafa or LAS Turkey IP camp is that it's the end of the season in Çeşme, which is an touristic like jewel of Turkey. Like everybody knows in Turkey Çeşme, because Çeşme is the place to go in summer. There's the party. And Mustafa was so clever to do it at the end of the season, like the last week of the season, like last week of September. And I think the schools in Turkey started already. So you always do it like in the first school week or in the second school week of Turkey. And this makes IP camp from the surroundings here extremely attractive and interesting and special, because whole Çeşme is like not in a hangover, but in a state of, oh my God, this summer is done. Now I can relax. So it's an extremely relaxing environment in usually extremely full touristic holiday place. Yeah. So the streets are empty. The people are really nice. The hotel is not full. It's like you can find you don't have to reserve any seats. The lines in the buffets are short. This is really, really extremely perfect environment for that. And then you have these 30 people, they organize the camp. Yeah, for me as a foreigner, it's a little bit mixed. I think for Turks is a must go, in my opinion, because you have a lot of national topics there that
regulations maybe.
Yeah. So last time, as I was just as a participant, I liked it, but I was like with the 4 foreigners always.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, because Turks usually, sometimes they don't like to speak English, or they switch a lot back to Turkish. Yeah,
that's true.
And they are extremely hospitable and welcome and nice to you. But So this is for me not so easy. Yeah, because usually they know each other. There is some politics maybe because they are competitors, or they are in 2 different law firms in Ankara. So, and I don't know these stuff. I don't know it. Yeah. So I don't know the inner workings of the Turkish IP community, but I can look into it. So I see a little bit. Yeah. But for me, this was a little bit difficult. Yeah, that I usually hang out with the 4 guys who are very comfortable in talking English and can't speak Turkish at all. Yeah, I at least can a little bit speak Turkish. So for me, it's always a little bit different because I would love to talk more Turkish and I would get more out of the IP camp. So my recommendation would be like you get the most out of it if you are very comfortable in English and fluent in Turkish. Then IP Camp Cheshme is mwah, 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 mwah. Yeah. It's really extremely well organized conference with great content in an environment, in a context that is unique in the world, really unique in the world. Yeah.
So there are many of the factors, indicators that makes unique this event, because the location, as you said, that it's not in the center of the big city. It is far away from the airport, 1 hour. So the participants are using the transportation, support from our travel agency, but the place and the sea quality is very good. In that hotel quality is very good, and all the people
It
are
is very
staying.
distracting, by the way. It's very distracting.
Because of?
Naya, if you have one boring speech, you really want to go to the beach.
Yes. In that manner, yes. Yes, yeah. If you are bored, if the speech is not interesting for you, you can find yourself in the swimming pool or in the sea immediately, because it's just 2 minutes. Yeah. So, or even spa or massage, or the thermal water. You can choose.
This was also challenging, but which makes it also very much interesting. The IP camp, yeah, that you always were like, ho. It's also a lot of pressure for the speaker, because they have to fight against a beautiful sunset or 28 degrees water temperature. So they have to deliver, otherwise people are really angry.
People are really angry and become angry, and then the location is the most important competitor of the trainer, so they must be always attractive.
Yeah.
So
but it has a great concept.
The participants, mostly 99% are Turkish, and last year you were only the participants coming from Europe, but most of the trainers are coming from Europe or United States from our LAS network. So this year is also the same, and we have very good experienced trainers to talk about IP management, patent searching, the licensing strategies, even unitary patents and court.
Are there still places available? How many registrants do you have, or is it a secret?
It is almost done. We are just accepting 40 participants.
40 max. Yeah,
40 max. Mm-hmm. Yes. And it is almost completed. All the seats are booked. And it is 2.5 days, by the way. It's not a 1 day, it's not a 2 days, 2.5 days. At the end of the IP camp, we are just sitting on the table near the pool site at the outside all together. And then we have one speaker or more than one speaker to talk about, the informal talk about the future of IP management. So this is the last part of the IP camp. But what do you think? I just really wondering, what do you think about the evening dinners? Because the evening dinner, especially the first night of the IP camp, that is our proud, because we are always gathering all the participants together in a very good, small boutique restaurant. And it is also creating a really good engaging, because we are staying very late, and then after the dinner, mostly we are going somewhere else, as a to disco or any bar, to drink more. So it's also increasing the engagement rate. What do you think?
Okay. What do I think? Also, as I said, if I'm following all the speeches, I'm usually tired at night. Yeah. So this is the challenge for me. And then I have to make a choice. Do I drink or do I not drink? This is also difficult. Yeah. In Turkey, it's quite easy. Most of the time, nobody cares. So there's no peer pressure of drinking. So this is fine. But what I remember most is that you try to make this conference dinner on one big table. So there is no like 10 tables for 40 people. So there is usually one big table. And this is quite impressive in a way. And then it's also a little bit depending on to whom you sit next in one table. So you can enjoy a lot of good conversations, but there's also a chance that you end up, yeah, in a
And
niche where you don't want to sit. Especially for me as a foreigner, yeah. But I
if
met
you're
always nice people in the dinners, but I had better and really great dinners at you, especially last year's dinner in this small farm outside of Cheshme. This picture is still in my mind. I took a lot of time to make the perfect picture there, because I was deeply, deeply moved and impressed by the event location. So I will never forget this. So this was one of the most perfect event locations in my whole life, and I don't want to repeat it. This is also somehow because it can't be better than last year. There's no chance. And how you can make this perfect better. There is like sometimes it's the same if you eat a certain dish the first time. It's really wow, and then you look your life for this taste of the first time you tasted it. And this I feel about the last year's dinner, yeah, because it was really, really perfect. It was really perfect. So I like this because it has a personal touch somehow. So there is some guy, I think his name is Mustafa, who really cares about the perfect location for his IP camp that is done by LAS Turkey. So so I think this plays a role. It's not about commerce or it's not about showing off. It's about finding the perfect evening location. Yeah. And
yeah. Let me share the photo,
yeah,
Arne. This is the place that we had dinner together. Like, you are feeling like, in the middle of Toscana or something. It is the small village in the conference place, and we closed this restaurant, and only the IP
it was not a
campers inside.
restaurant. It was like tables for 30 people, and we put the tables together and we filled the restaurant. Yeah. It
Exactly.
was just for us. Yes.
And this photo is taken by Arne, credits by Arne.
And
And
it's really amazing. It was a family that lived from this farm selling crops to the markets, and they just run by the family. They cooked the food they eat themselves. They serve to the guests, to us. In the horizon, you see the sea, and we just ate food that grew in this farm. So there was no industry food, nothing. It was all done by them, like sought by them, harvested by them, and then cooked by them. And this
exactly.
quality is, yeah, you don't find it in a lot of places anymore. It's really rare, these such locations. So you have,
Yeah.
I don't know, I you can't do better, Mustafa. It's not possible. I want to go there again.
we will not select the same place, you will go there.
If you select the same place, I will book my flight today.
Oh, it's nice. It's
This is a little bit not a compliment. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky, a tricky compliment.
yeah. I see. I understand.
I just
Thank
wanted to
you.
express that I was really moved and touched, and it was an unforgettable evening, really. And
Yeah, the most of the
because of the
participants are.
company and the context, the environment.
So Arne, maybe before closing the session, as we did last time, we created the directory of IP networks, and I suggest to create another directory, comprising IP conferences, IP camps, IP events globally. And then we can collect all the events, their links, their categories, their the organization city, and then our audience can easily navigate to understand which conference, which IP event, when and where to organize. What do you think?
Good luck. How many
Good
people
luck.
do
I
you
can do
need?
that.
It's a lot of work, I guess. So because there are a lot of events.
Yes, a lot
And
of
I
events.
think you should create a list of events that you, with your experience, recommend, because you can't cover all, and it's just will be, I would say, if you work a lot, you will cover 10% of events.
Yeah, maybe we can keep it in Europe. Just an idea. I'm asking to the audience. Also, I will post another LinkedIn message to the audience. Maybe they can also suggest their favorite IP conference, IP camp, IP event, and then we can do the similar one. So I am volunteered to create this directory. Let's try.
Yeah, we have to be careful. I remember a lot of these event pages also contain trainings or lectures that are like paid lectures, paid trainings. And it's another category we didn't talk about today. Like, where are the best training offerings in the world,
Yeah,
or in
yeah.
Europe or in Germany? So one of my PITSNet members, one of my Padlibs, Paton, they have their own academy, which like full-time trainers and full-time staff. So they have a schedule like with, I don't know, 200 events a year alone.
Wow.
Because they have weekly lectures. They offer to the public to train IP managers, or train researchers, or train scientists, inventors. So they
Not
have
paid.
really paid,
Paid.
of course, paid. Yeah. So like if you are a student at the university, I think there are some for free. But I just talked to Sabine Milde this morning, and I think Heike Schwanebeck is the training coordinator of Paton. So that's why I'm a little bit skeptical. Like, if you stay to conferences and camps and will work, but if you include trainings or workshops or like smaller regional events, you will probably fail. I know this from my Padlib network. Like, every
Yeah.
of my 18 Padlibs has their own event page with a lot of events, because they write also participation with a booth in bigger industry conferences, for instance. And you can't
Yeah, I got your
differentiate.
point.
Yeah. German Patent Office has also, I think they attend 35 events, conferences a year. The Patent Office alone, with a
Yeah.
booth or with a mobile team. So, and now if you go to an industry fair, patents is a topic there, but it's not a patent conference. But patents are a topic there. So, and the German Patent Office or the European Patent Office has a booth there as well. So yeah, so pure patent conferences, maybe you're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point, I guess. So if we try to collect all the IP related events, seminars, small trainings, it's impossible to collect all this data. but we have to be, the IP first, IP only.
Maybe per continent also, because I realize maybe US guys in the audience or Asia Pacific guys are interested. What's the best conference in Europe? Because they are experts in the Asia region. They know that they go into, I don't know, Shanghai, Japan, Tokyo, and you have to be in at this conference. And I am totally not aware. I never were. Yeah, I get a lot of invitations, for instance, to Dubai conferences. I don't know why.
Dubai.
Yeah, there is a lot of conferences in Dubai, and I get a lot of pitches also from LinkedIn or via email, because I'm also since 20 years in the scene, maybe that. So, and I always skip conferences in Dubai, yeah. Also because of climate change, I don't want it. I don't want to fly just into Dubai for a conference, yeah. So I try to stay close in the recent years, yeah. Not only because of Corona, but also because I think is really necessary to go. Yeah, because I have good exchange here. I don't want to go international, so maybe you have to be. I know Mindsoft, I like the big guys on all the conferences.
Because they have clients from all over the world, so they have to touch to Asian guys,
check out
guys.
Mindsoft also, one of the bigger guys, where they are always on the conferences. So where do they meet their clients?
Exactly.
It's also interesting. Okay.
Let's try, Arne. I will try to collect these conferences and camps as a list, as a directory, and I will also ask to our audience from LinkedIn. Let's see the attraction and answers. I think that list can be valuable for the IP guys. So yeah, it's almost 1 hour. I really enjoyed Arne after a summer break.
Me too. Thank you very much, Mustafa, for having me again and for the nice talk. I would think, like, if we don't have questions from the audience, we just close down today, because I really enjoyed the hour. Can you check? Do we have anything? Okay, super. Yeah. Hopefully you guys in the audience or you watch later enjoyed it, our little exchange about different formats and our experiences and recommendations for great conferences. Exactly. Maybe somebody from the EPO is listening and they do an EPO pick again. Yeah, let's see. Let's see.
Oh, yes. After 2 weeks later, we can be together with the 11th of Patent Insights, dear audience. So, Arne, time to say hello, time to say goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. What was the last thing we decided to say? Stay curious, stay ahead. What was it? I forgot. Shit.
Stay informed. What? I forgot as well. I wrote it. Stay informed, Mustafa. Stay ahead. Stay informed, stay ahead.
Okay, you saved the situation. With stay informed, stay ahead, we say goodbye, say thank you for everybody who's watching, who give us a like and a follow. We really appreciate a little bit feedback of you. But even if you don't have any feedback, we will continue this journey together, Mustafa.
Exactly, because because it is very, interesting, and enjoyed with talking with Arne always. So even one person watched this video, I am really enjoyed with talking to you. Stay informed, stay ahead. Bye bye.